Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Koi Koi Japan Hanafuda playing cards. So we did the tutorial and basically understand the game now after the first episode, so we can just jump into a different one. I imagine, even though I did come over here and change from Meg to Fumi, that we wouldn't have gotten a different tutorial. If we did get a slightly different tutorial, it would just change the first sentence in the tutorial that said, "Hi, my name is Meg," to "Hi, my name is Fumi." It is, I suppose, worth mentioning that there is a sort of flower language that flower rangers know, and Japan seems to have their own kind of flower language to represent each month. I guess that is true in the West. It's just, I'd imagine there aren't too many people that know it. So, playing single player now. Do we want to train, or do we want to play the campaign? Let's just see if we can get through the entire campaign in the series. Alright. So, we're going to play postcard collection mode. We saw that there were these collection things. Or are we going to play these other collection modes? I bet, well, typically in a video game you would assume that the top one is the easiest one, and these are just increasing levels of difficulty. So I bet you want to play through the campaign and collect all the postcards first. Okay, so I see how this is going to work, and we knew that the postcards are from specific areas. So if you're not familiar with Japan, you have the Okinawa area, you have the Kyushu area, you have the Shikoku area, you have the Chugoku area, you have the Kansai area, here you have the Shibuya area, here you have the Kanto area, and here you have the Tohoku area, which I believe Tokyo probably is in this area. If it's not, it's in the Kanto area. And then you have up here in the Hokkaido area, which if I was going to live anywhere in Japan, I would probably choose the Hokkaido area because it's colder and less densely populated. Of course, if I was going to actually work, I would have to work almost certainly in the Tokyo area, and I believe the old capital was in the Shibuya area. Japan made a genius move by creating a new capital of Tokyo. It really centralized their government agency, that it's their central, I don't know if it's actually a state capital or a government, or just the central government location, but they really didn't take it any further, which they should. It wouldn't be a terrible idea if they decided to once again move their government offices to, say, the Chugoku area, and have the large overpopulation and density that happens in Tokyo kind of spread out some more, and a lot of companies just decide to move this way. That way they could build new buildings and create massive employment and construction, although that may not really be as big of a deal for Japan. That their bigger issue is, of course, their declining and aging population, which my solution to that is really simple. They need to make college towns where basically there is no adults in it at all. The problem in Japan is, like, the high school teachers will roam the streets, bossing around and telling the high school kids to go home and study, instead of just letting high school kids run around and do whatever they want. Which you definitely don't have time to have relationships that go on dates if you're being overwhelmed with tons of homework, like they do in high school, and being heavily monitored by high school teachers. And so that becomes a bit of a problem. There's just too much work, and then the teachers are being overly controlling, very controlling country in general. Plus, also, any adult anywhere is going to look down on any kind of like dating activity or young youth activity that is dishonorable in the eyes of these old conservative adults. So if you created these kind of college towns, and the idea, like in the United States, where kids get out of the control of their parents, they go to these college towns, there's nobody to tell them no, there's nobody to stop them from wildly drinking, for being a little bit promiscuous, sleeping around, and dating. That's where they can, it's not perhaps the best system, but it is a system that works to help propagate the human species and let a college kid be a kid. I'm also noticing that none of these people seem to be the same characters that you can choose in the overlay. Let's hop into a game. So yeah, the idea of them creating a college town where it's like there are no adults anywhere that are gonna look you in the eye or say one word. Everybody's gonna keep a secret. You can go on dates. The Japanese dating system is crazy already, so they need to introduce more dating, then more socially acceptable drinking wouldn't hurt, and just more socially acceptable feeling out your roots and figuring out who you are and who you want to be and who you want to date. So we still didn't really learn. Well, I was wrong. There is one word that has, there's one card that has zoo on it. I thought all the Hanafuda cards didn't have any writing on it, but then here we can also see there's a red ribbon with writing on it. So I was a little wrong about that. So the only thing I really feel like is missing in this game is the fact that I guess you can't chat against AI. That makes sense. It feels like you should be able to bring up this and see this here, and honestly, for new players, it probably is really genius just to have this open the whole time. And you can't bring up the Yaku either. And I guess pause probably would take you back to the whole menu. I really don't need to worry about the Yaku so much as I need to, now that I am on my own, I need to figure out what the high level and high tier of these cards are. Which I guess Crane beats Red Ribbon, and this Red Ribbon here for January is different than the Red Ribbon for like April. So you gotta remember to look for the flowers. That's what we're really looking for. So I could match this and this, and so what month is that? See, that's December. And oddly, the one that says zoo is lower tier than the one that doesn't say zoo. Or, oddly, you have a situation here where in December you have 3 plain versions and a Phoenix version. So there's something special about December where some of these other ones have 1 plain, 1 ribbon, 1 swallow, and 1 special card. Yeah, there's kind of some inconsistency. It seems for most months there's 2 plain, a ribbon, and an animal. But December, it's 3 plains and an animal. And November, it's 1 plain. So what are our other options? Seems like they've automatically dimmed out the ones we couldn't match. So we could get this one, and then that would be 2. I guess that's blue. It looks very purple to me. We could go with that, or we could go with this. And honestly, I think this is the best match first. Let's go for a seed in October. And then see if we could potentially leave the blue and have yet another blue on the field. I could get all three. That would be interesting. And then what is this? This is Moon of August. And this actually makes it fairly easy to figure out what you're doing. And this would be ribbon and plain. This would be 2 planes. This would be 2 planes. Okay. So yeah, getting the ribbon is the right move. Well, interesting. I just got the blue automatically. And this one has like 4 planes. Oh, I've got to remember I'm trying to match these. You have to match the flowers to get the score. So I just got tan and Aotan. Let's see, do I want a koi koi? No, let's push our luck. Music changes. So tan is 5 ribbons. And see, it's even telling us, I guess, that we're scoring or just how many we have. So that would be 6 points. Or is it 1 point? I'm actually, yeah, I have 5 points for Aotan and 1 point for having 1 ribbon over 5. That's actually a very low scoring Yaku. Let's see. What else are we trying to do? We could get 10 planes. Now we have Kaisu, which I believe is probably 10 planes. And we have Hanamizake. I wish I could see what that score is, but let's see. Kaisu apparently is giving me 10 for having 10 flowers. 10 plus 6 plus 2. This feels like, at 19 points, a pretty good score, so I'm just gonna say no and stop. The idea of winning in 1 round is not realistic. I was wrong on the calculation there. It wasn't 19, it was actually only 12, but 12 is still fairly right. We got the tan for 2, the Hanamizake for 3, the Aotan for 5, and the Kaisu for 1. And we got 1 koi koi, which multiplied, which we did once, which gave us 1 point. I guess we could have tried the koi koi again. And that puts us now at 18 to 42. Let's come back here and see if we can understand what Hanamase was. We collected the cherry blossom and curtain and the chrysanthemum and sake cup. Alright, wow, what is this? I don't recognize this one. I haven't seen this. But it definitely looks interesting as a unique card. It's the Phoenix. So, Yeah, I will take the Phoenix and lock that in. Then I could take this, or I could try to get there's I could get 2 planes here for no reason, or I could get the ribbon. I want the red ribbons. And this probably is a higher red ribbon than the other. Let's see. We have a ribbon tier for May, which is this one. And then we have a ribbon tier for January, which is this. Oops. I messed that up. I wanted to click on that and click on that, but for some reason that didn't work, but it fixed itself. We have still yet to actually make any matches, and she is potentially outplaying me. So I have to put something down, so I would want to put this down. That way I would have something that would match later. And yeah. Apparently having 3 red ribbons doesn't score anything. Why does it not score anything? So the Akatan requires 3 red ribbon cards. Pine and red ribbon, plum and red ribbon, and cherry blossom and red ribbon. So it's very specific red ribbon cards, not just the ones, just any random red ribbon cards. Interesting. And see, I'm about to end the game with just a Kaisu, which honestly I should just do that. I should just say stop, take what is probably going to be just 3 points, and that's it. Like 1 point, just out of safety and precaution. It does feel like you have to be fairly conservative here, so it's easier to, it's obviously easier to get the blue matches than it is to get the other kinds of matches. I'm gonna go ahead and get the deer because we know the 3 animals can match. So if I can get lucky and pull the, if I can pull the boar and the butterflies, which I also have, that would be great. Go ahead and take the blue ribbon. We're not really making the matches we'd like to make so far, though. But I think that's really where this is going to happen, is you're just going to end up going with a Kaizu a lot of times. Well, let's koi koi this time. I kind of wish the music would be a little bit different, but I had no easy way to go back to the main menu. Okay. So on the red ribbon scoring again, let's look and see if this card is one of them. It isn't, so we can just put that down. It doesn't matter. And then this. Now I'm gonna koi koi a second time. You just got a Sengoku, and it stopped. What is a Sengoku? Is that the highest one? Sengoku. No, it's not Sengoku, it's Senkou. I gave him gave her 5 points. It's a high scoring card. See, let's collect 4 light cards excluding the Willow Ono no Mazaki can't be combined with the 3 light cards. So you definitely want all the light cards if you could get them. Which, okay, you're going to have to learn what the light cards are and realize that this is not a light card. This is though, so matching that at first. Not a bad move. And this is a light card if I could grab that. Let's see. You got the blue ribbon. It's kind of going for the chump change anyways. Is there a strategy for getting more animals? I don't know. Getting ribbons, though, is still good. Okay, what do we want to put down? He's got 2 light cards too, so the odds of getting 3 light cards is kind of hard, isn't it? So at this point, even though we don't really have much, we got a Tane, and we got a Tsukimizaki. Well, actually, that actually is a lot. So it's not koi koi at all. That's actually really good score that we just managed to get, relatively speaking. So a Tsukimazaki, Kumizaki, is 3 points, where a Ton is 2 and a Tane is 1, which equaled 6, which gave us 7 with the 1 koi koi. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to get those high scoring games very often, I guess. Which, yeah, that's believable. What do I have to do to get this one? See, I want to look at this. Are these just 2 of the same month playing cards? Yeah, they are. They're 2 July cards. So it doesn't matter which one you pick. I can match this one, but what is matching that one? How come that's highlighted like that? Oh, because this symbol matches it. Interesting. Well, that's probably the best you could ever do with that card. And just, there's something here about getting multiple animals, not animes. Isn't there? Or is it just the deer, the butterfly, and the boar? It is just the deer, the butterfly, and the boar. Interesting. But getting seed cards is not bad in general. So I have like 5 seed cards, which gives me a Tane, which a Tane probably is 5 seed cards, yeah. So you want light and seed cards, not particularly plain ribbon cards. Now I will say in the Nintendo version of this, I don't think they were called plain cards. I think they were called chaff cards, and maybe these were more wheat style cards, or maybe these were called seed. So there might be a slight difference in translation between different games playing Hanafuda. But it's pretty obvious what's going on here is that you are intentionally trying to have the 4 tiers and you want the highest tiers you can get. I believe that is one of the red ribbon cards that you want to collect. Where's that score? Where's that Yaku? Yeah, this one and the other 2 red ribbons are I don't have. I had kind of forgotten about this being a light card. Do I want to go further? I'm gonna say yes. We're gonna push this to the point where we actually run out of cards. And we'll do stalemate, which then stalemate goes to the dealer, 1 point to the dealer, and just starts immediately a new game. Okay. So yeah, that was dumb. There was no point in that at all. And let's go back to the red ribbon matches are the ones that I'm gonna have to keep an eye on. Just those images are the ones that look the weirdest to me. This one is a light card, so I want to get that. Nope, that was a seed card. How do I get this one? Get that. That's a light card. That I think is a light card. Phoenix is a light card, so let's take that. This might be a light card too. Regardless, this looks more interesting than the others. Nope, that was just a plain card. That's a big mistake to make. Take that. I guess I could have left those two and gone for the full combo. And that's not a light card either, even though it has a little bug creature. Yeah, you should play a little conservative here and just stop. And just take your points and move on. Otherwise, this is just going to go on forever. You may just have to play. Oh, and I had forgotten about the fact that you only play for 6 rounds, because I was thinking that you would have to play forever until you actually lowered them down to 0. So we got a postcard. Next, it's a interesting postcard, but you can't really double click on it. A lot of times when you unlock this stuff, you kind of would like it to tell you, go to this folder if you want to use this image as your background or use this image in some way. Of course, they won't probably ever do that, so we got 1 postcard. So yeah, we are looking at a lot of gameplay here to do that. That is a lot of collectibles. A couple too many back buttons there. So let's just change everything up. This. And I guess maybe there's some weirdness here, because if something unlocks the number 6 background music and these 3 backgrounds, I'm not sure what it is because there's only 3 campaigns and 1 character. So we've got a new character. Yeah, there's postcards, Yukoi, this and this. So I guess if you get all of these, then doing all of these probably does unlock 1 little reward, which is almost certainly not worth it if you're not enjoying Koi Koi. Good news is I am enjoying Koi Koi. Seems like my rating hasn't gone up. This is probably multiplayer, that's why. Single player though, you don't have a rating. Alright. So campaign. This time we'll see if anything changes on this mode. It's not letting me play. So apparently this is locked or it's glitched. I'm just using a mouse. It's not like there's controller support here. So apparently you have to play postcard mode. And so then the question would be, are we playing the same character, Rina, again? Or are we playing a different character? And do we just, are we guaranteed that we're gonna win? Let's see what the pause menu does. It does allow you to go to the options, but it doesn't let you do any of the themes. Maybe you could go to the main menu and then from that point. See, it's kind of frivolous to have these more anime style of girls. Yeah, you can restore game. Alright, nice feature. It's kind of silly to have these kind of anime style girls when you have very traditional just animations of more realistic, atomically accurate human beings that you're actually playing as. Because it's not like they show up, and there definitely is a point where they could show up when you're getting that little animation that says you've won a Yaku. That would have been the ideal point for it to show up. For them to just show up on the side and make a sound effect that's like, that would be like, good job. Or it just said Yaku even. How do I grab that one? That's how we grab that one. And then we'll grab that. So we got IO10. Now would be the perfect time for the anime girl to show up right there and say something encouraging. Just so they're involved in the gameplay at all. And we'll koi koi one more time and push our luck. I guess at the beginning, since this is a video game part of this, it would be fairly easy to push your luck in the first round, and then if it fails, if you lose, then just exit and start a new game. Yep, I just got beaten. So my first loss for 1 point. not a big loss, but remember there is only 6 rounds. There's apparently all 3 of these are under that match. That's interesting that they went under like that. So, and then they dialed more in. Let's see. Now we have Hanafuda, which Hanafuda is chrysanthemum and sake cup. Does that really look like a sake cup? Let's see. There's a bit of a problem here that you can't just double click on these and make these a lot bigger. Yeah. I'm gonna have to really look at this card because I don't really see a sake cup in that image. But I may just not be recognizing it. I lucked out and got Akatan. Well, Koi again. This is a game you could definitely play fairly fast, and I think oddly you actually are kind of encouraged to slap the cards, or it's just traditional to slap the Hanafuda cards. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's extremely rude, but I think that's what I had heard. Gotta be careful here. But I don't have to be too careful. Put this one down, and then we match this. Now we have Tsukumi Mizaki. I don't want a Koi here. Stop. Stop and take those points. I kind of wish you could just by default always have that menu open. So that took 15 points. And I guess it does stay open for the time that you play it. Interesting. Take that. And then take that, and then we should have all of that month. But there's no reward for having all of the month, oddly. So there was kind of no reason to do that. This again is setting me up nicely to have a high scoring one, particularly if I can get the boar. There went the boar, unfortunately. So now I just need to call it a day and stop. But I changed the audio, and it doesn't feel like the audio changes after you koi, even if you change the audio, so you end up probably hearing the same music regardless. There's just no really great way in which you're going to be guaranteed quick victories. Which kind of sucks, but it's not absolutely terrible idea that a game is not completely beatable, because that can also be fairly annoying if you're just guaranteed a victory. See, I have all these purple, these blue ribbons. And I don't have a way to do anything. So here's a low scoring game, but we might as well call stop and take a point. And take 2 points. There's only 9 points left, and we're at round 4, so really we're only at best going to save ourselves 1 round. But yeah, in less than 2 hours we have figured out, or I have figured out, the majority of the strategy. Now, an interesting question to ask about this is this a game that would be interesting or good to teach kids, particularly kids that aren't Japanese? Well, I imagine if they are Japanese, they would know how to play this game. It does have that nice advantage of potentially trying to teach the months, but then it doesn't put the number on the months. So I would, if I was going to teach kids this, I would probably do something very sacrilegious and immediately stamp in the top left corner the name or the number of the month. That way kids could understand it better. And then probably in the top right corner, I would probably stamp whether it's a playing card or ribbon or a seed, and actually put some text into it. But after that point, and those little adjustments, then it just gets down to the scoring element, which is complicated, certainly. So you need like a rule sheet for the kids, and a chart like this wouldn't be terrible. This is obviously going to be a little bit more complicated than I have to take my pick. And I should just stop now. And I once again only get a couple points. Really, that is just my goals. I'm so far ahead, I can just end the rounds as quickly as possible. Yeah, like Go Fish in comparison would be roughly an equivalent of what you're doing. You're just having to, in this case, score more difficult and more challenging experience. Which, yeah, I don't know if people really would want to go with teaching kids the scoring part. That's the more difficult part here. Should be. Oh, I didn't realize that was a C light card. What month is that? That is November's. The Ono no Machikaze. Now we have Tane, and we have the Ino Shikacho. So I'm gonna say no because it would just, that actually just saved me time, but I could have played longer and gone for a higher score. I guess, wow, left him with 1 point. I guess at the end of this, your maximum score would just be 60. So if there's like an achievement, it probably is just 60. And I imagine these are just stock images, not even scaled right, though. Of course, you would kind of ruin that. The thing we're trying to find out here, real quick, is will we get duplicates, or is it just you need 6 victories in each of the areas? Because that's definitely a different scenario if you start getting duplicates. It is still better than nothing, though. Like, there's no real way to complain that they've given you a reason to play the game that you bought. So many other games don't bother to do that. That's the sake cup. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Well. Might have a little bit of trouble scoring here, so I probably should just take it and go. Yeah, we're gonna end up in a stalemate at this rate. Yeah, I got one Kaizu, and then I stopped automatically. 1 point versus a stalemate. That's an interesting way it drew the cards too. Gave me 4 cards, then it gave 4 to the table, I believe, then 4 to them, then 4 cards to me, and then 4 to the table, and then 4 to them, I believe is what I just saw. Wasn't paying that much attention to it, but it's definitely an odd way to do things. I definitely feel like I figured out the big ticket items. And I've mostly figured out the scoring. So I think without even really having to refer too much, I can play the game in less than 2 hours. Which there definitely are a lot of games where that is not the case. Let's see, I placed that down so I could score on this. And honestly, that's when you should just stop there. Take that, get 3 points, move on to the next round. Got 5 points, not 3. Yeah, the scoring numbers I still don't understand. Let's see. Pull that. And pull that. And pull that. If I can get this guy, I'm set for another score. This is the sake cup. I still don't see a sake cup there. I see a rock and some kind of like yellowish fuzz. I see a red leaf and chrysanthemums. So unless this says sake cup, I don't know why that's called sake cup. Everything else fairly makes sense. I should just stop here. We got Tan, Aotan, and Kaizu, which should be 4 points. Nope. Aotan is 5, Kaizu is 2, Tan is 3, which gave us 8 points. I'm not gonna have any variety in a game like this, and that is, I guess, just the risk you take in a situation like this where Like that is just gonna happen. And it's not really something you can really take as a negative, because when you are buying a game knowing that it is just one card game, that is what you're gonna get. And while it would be nice to have something more like Tabletop Simulator that had multiple games in it, this is a prime example of a game that is unique enough and has specific enough rules that you need to focus on programming just that one game to actually play right and do interact in the correct way. Because the last thing you'd want to do is play this game and find out that, oh, actually it's interacting in a completely different way than what it should be, and it's teaching people the wrong way to play the game. Yeah, once again, now if you take a stalemate here, it really wouldn't be a problem, because it's still going to, it would still just move you forward to the next round. But I finally got a tan, which should be 1 point. Yeah. So the final round is here. And we're going to be able to go through these fairly quickly, I think, going forward. But I'm not sure how many more games really need to be covered also. Which one of these is matches? Oh. Because honestly, I probably should just play the game all the way through off screen, so we just have an accelerated experience until we have all of the postcards except for one. That way, in case there's any special thing that happens, we'll know then. Of course, there's two ways to play for that, and that there is a danger of me not recording some footage if we do this. I think that's what the one that I need to do, though, is let's just say no and win. And see, that was round 5. Now we're at round 6. See, we need to know if there's some special reward for getting all the postcards in a specific area. If there isn't any special unlock or reward for that, then there's no problem with getting all of the postcards in all of the areas except for like the very last one. Just gonna put that on I want that card. If I could get this on the field and this as a Yaku. Ah, actually I can match that card, can't I? I don't think it matters which one of those I took. So, Sumikaze, and he koi-koi'd. So that, I believe, is like a 3-point thing, right? Let's see, I guess maybe it might not matter. It's 1/3 point. Well, I'm going to take a Kazu for a point, and I'm not going to koi-koi. And we'll see if my score makes me win. I think it does no matter what, because I just hit stop. But maybe not. There we go. 55-5. We get another postcard. Which these are nice little pictures. They're not particularly postcards. Because, well, not, I mean, some postcards definitely are just scenic images, but a lot of them also have places where you put a stamp or a, would have something on the back that you could see. So that month beats that month. The little slapping sound does kind of interestingly give you this like violence that you would not generally expect from a card game. I believe this is a light. Nope, I was wrong about that. I should have taken the red ribbon. No, I still should have taken the seed. That still is the better move. Let's take that. That's a good mood. So we have 3 lights. We are already suited nicely to potentially have a score. We have Ameshikoyu. Koi Koi. Yeah, let's see if we can get all 5 of that. See, we have the 7-point Ameshikoyu. The only thing above this would be to have 4 lights or 5 lights. We just got it. We got the Gokoyu. So Koi Koi on this one. Yeah, we can Koi Koi. There's basically nothing here. Look, there's even a rainbow thing. We've got like 10 points, and but it doesn't combine with the light 3, the light 4, or the rain light 4, which was the Ameshikoyu. So interesting. We want to take this, or we want to take this. We've got the Kaizu. It would be fairly dangerous to continue though, so we want to stop at that point. I mean, that is just like top tier score. But if I could have Kaizu'd a couple more times, I could have multiplied the points by 2. But even at that, the odds seemingly are extremely low that you would be able to actually win on the first game, which is the right way to design any game. You don't want a scenario where you're gonna just end up losing and having to shuffle the cards and start all over again. So far, of the background music I've heard, none of it's absolutely terrible. I'm not sure what month this. Phoenix is December, right? What flower is December? See little purple stubs. Okay. This is the sake cup. And that is something that doesn't match. Like, none of these cards match. Is there anything we could throw onto the field that might match on a twist turn? No, I don't think so either. this will match. That's at least something. Then we'll take this one. And we'll take that one for no real reason. Now we can get the sake cup. Now we have 10. And Hanamizaki, which is probably about 6 points, which is probably the best I'm gonna get, so we should just move forward. Nope, that was only 2. Hanamizaki, a unique match, but not really worth much. Take the Phoenix. Which one matches the Phoenix? It's this one. And then this one I think is a light card also. So we're setting ourselves up nicely to potentially get yet another light card combination. Take that. We want that one, that one. We want that one. So we have Tsukimizaki. And we have Sankoyu. And do we want to play any further? No. Just rush to the end of 6 rounds. I mean, I guess if I could get 9 points away from him. Let's see. Can we get this one on the field? Not yet. That. Take that. Take that. So now we have 10. See, that's about 2 points. Let's koi and play a little bit longer, because I think we can get something else. At this point though, it's probably best to stop. That's 5 points. So if I can get 3 more points in this round, we'll save ourselves 1 round. And we're probably going to go a little long today, because I want to see what happens once we get all of the postcards on screen. And then I think I'll probably play just a ton of off-screen games. And that way all the postcards will be selected, and we'll just go through the gallery to show off the postcards for what little they're probably worth. Oops. Well, I didn't really pay dearly for that mistake. It's koi because I don't think a Kaisu is worth 3 points. Tsukimazaki and Anami Shikoyu though definitely is. So stop there. Yeah, that was worth 11 points. 7 plus 3. Actually, I guess I could have stopped at a Sumikaze, but I think we got both of those at the same time. So 12 points. which puts it at -9, which does actually allow you to get above 60. So there is a theory here you could get a higher number, although I wouldn't imagine that you could get much higher than maybe 70. Like, yeah, if you could get multiples of things and a multiplier with the koi, you could probably get up to maybe 90, but that breaking 100 would probably be very unlikely to happen. And we got a new postcard, which you have a blue jellyfish. Yeah, I don't know if that's a real fish or if that's just something made out of jello, whereas the fish back here definitely look like jello. No, they definitely do look like fish, although they might just be very clever deceptions in general. And I imagine this region is known, the Okinawa region is known for the things we're seeing the postcards for. Which, yeah, okay, that's cool. Japan is a nice place to visit and possibly even live there for a brief time. But if you don't look and act exactly Japanese to the point where they cannot recognize that you are not a foreigner, you're not going to have a good time living there in the long run. They eventually tire of you, and frankly, Japan is just a very homogeneous country with only short-term tolerances for foreigners. Do we want a koi? I think we can. I think we can go for a high score. But I should probably be fairly careful to stop after this next Yaku. That doesn't, of course, mean you can't appreciate the Japanese and their culture. Just appreciate it for a brief time. Don't fantasize about living there and living the anime fans' dream of going to Akihabara every week. Can I get this? I think I can. Didn't a bunch of cards go under this? No? I thought they did. What happened? There. No, they went under here. They moved. Oh. So we need that. And we're kind of in a bad place already. Let's place that one. He sniped that from me. Wow, we're not doing well. Yeah, we might hit a point where I just call it, and that still has the opponent win because they just have more Yakus than me. At best, I'm playing for a stalemate. Yeah, just end it there for 1 point. What is the one match we can have? I guess in a funny way, there really is no reason to try and get all 4 of the months unless you're just trying to fill out for some fairly low scoring solutions. Like, you really would have to play kind of oddly to do that. Like, it seems like it is more logical to focus on the big bucks. What I would like to see is them rotate out the music. This is the only thing specifically about this interface in this game that I've found irritating, is that it doesn't change the music or rotate anything out when you koi, so you just end up hearing the same songs over and over again. Just trying to rush through this so we can get that final one. So this is I guess where these stacks always end up. Well, that's all I can do, so I might as well do it. I don't think there's a way, or even if there is a way, I don't think it matters if you ran out of all the cards on the field. I think you probably would always just run out of cards in your hand first. This is probably going to be a low score, but we've got enough points anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can really rush through these games once you've got it. It's not a long game. Okay. What are we trying to... What can we play that wouldn't be too dangerous? Like, none of these months match. So just throwing that out. It's like nobody can play anything. So we'll start with the chrysanthemum and curtain. And then we have a red ribbon. And a blue ribbon. And another blue ribbon. And then this one's obviously more detailed, so we want that. Is there any reason to really stretch this out? Because we could go for more score. Yeah, let's go for more score and see if we can end this early. So if I put this here, I should then be able to play this. And that should give me another tan and AO tan. And it gave me Inchu Shikacho. So that might be more than 9 between the three of those. Yeah, it was 12. So we can just end it early. And we got another postcard. Just a shrine demon guardian with a shrine in the background. Okay. So it seems like, as it is, the postcards, yeah, they're still not really maximized. We've got all of them in one area, and there wasn't any big celebration or anything around that. And it didn't tell us if we unlocked anything. seems like we didn't. Yeah. Everything seems to still be locked. And what else would... I think there would be nothing new in the options. I suppose it is fair to say we are playing on the easiest level of difficulty, so if it requires us to play on more difficult settings to unlock things, that would kind of suck. That would be helpful if the game told me that. This game has been fairly useful and good about not hiding things behind poorly translated or untranslated things. The only other thing I could think that might unlock something, if it's not just doing the entire campaign of postcards, would be to just play a certain number of games, a certain number of rounds, or get a certain number of scores, which apparently we've never scored a Shikoyu, Sumazaki, or an Akagasane at all. Or maybe you have to actually play multiplayer. I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually very few people playing online, or if the servers were even down. Well, it says July 2020, but that could just be automatically filling. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a ton of audience of people just playing online anyways. Then we could do training, and I guess that's where you might... I don't see why training would be any different. But yeah, we still can't do any of these groups. So it does seem like this is just easy mode, and you have to do all this, then you have to do this, which is maybe slightly more difficult, and then you have to do all this, and then you have to do all of this. I guess we could look at training mode. Interesting. So training mode is the only time you get to actually play with the anime girls. Rydo, let's play. Please be gentle, okay? So I won't play this game at the moment, but there might be a case in which we go back and play that. And just to see if there's more interaction and communication between the anime girls talking to us and the absolute zero communication or interaction with the people that we're playing in the postcard campaign. As for the postcard campaign, I'm going to play all of it off screen until we have just one postcard left, and then we'll come back and do that. There's no reason to add potentially, it could be 3 or 4 hours worth of gameplay of just playing Hanafuda. At this point, I fully recommend this game, Koi Koi Japan, if you want to play Hanafuda. Everything seems well designed. And finally, now I see, now that it's zoomed in more, that it is a sake cup instead of a red leaf. Oh, yeah. There are a little nitpicks here and there, but there's nothing really wrong with this. Now, there is an argument, why not, in a more modern setting, have this on tablet and cell phone? And I imagine there is a Hanafuda playing card game for Android and iOS. But I would like to see more Steam games that are available on Steam also have a cell phone version that you get for free when you purchase a Steam game. That's where I would like to see Steam go, personally. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.